Hi there, beer nerds. Sean here with Keg, and today we're going to talk about how you can fill and deliver corny kegs and mini kegs of any size right to your customers. You could be filling them without oxygen ever touching the beer, and in most cases, all you would need is a slight modification to your tap and an inexpensive spunding valve. So stick around and I'll show you how. Okay, the first thing we need to talk about is glass growlers. I know they're cheap, but they're a terrible way to sell your beer. They got 5 major problems. When you fill it with one of these, you're exposing the beer to tons of oxygen, and it's gonna be ruined in a couple days. And you're also knocking much of the CO2 out of suspension. People don't like flat beer. While you're filling it and you got all this foam pouring over the top of it, well, you're wasting your beer. So what if the customer gets it home and they decide to leave it in the fridge for a couple days? And the first time they try your beer is something that's been abused, and that's going to represent your brand. But let's assume they love your beer, so sell it to them. They're only going to buy 1 or 2 of these at a time. Let's face it, most of your customers don't want to deal with a 140-pound Sankey keg. Let's give them some options in between. So here's what you do instead. 5 and 10-liter mini kegs with these quick disconnect caps on them. They're just like a corny keg, except in a much more manageable size. So how do we solve these 5 major issues? First off, no air touching the beer. We use a liquid jumper cable so we can fill the keg directly. Secondly, we maintain carbonation levels. First, you back pressurize the keg, then you use a spunding valve to control the PSI as you're filling it. Number 3, no more wasted beer. When you back pressurize the keg, you're not gonna get any foam at all, and it's gonna fill it right up to the top. Fourth, your beer tastes like it should. After you have it filled, it is perfectly sealed, same as any Sankey keg. Customer can leave it in their fridge for weeks before they tap it, similar to this here. And fifth, you can sell more beer. Why not drop off 1, 2, 3, 4 kegs at a time? The customer can just put the one that they need in the fridge, let it cool, snap the tap, and they're ready to go. I don't know if any of you have heard of these new food delivery services, HelloFresh, Good Foods. There's a couple of them, but they come with insulated boxes. These are very easy to get. They even come with the ice packs. So you can just slide those down beside the kegs, and then you can put the tap kit right in there with it. So they get the full package delivered right to their door. 2 of the 5-liter kegs also fit perfectly in one of these Igloo Contour 30 coolers. I've got a whole video showing how to build one of these. We've made a special fridge tap kit to make it super easy for your customers to serve the beer when they get it home. I got a whole separate video showing how to do this. So now, let's get into the real nerd stuff. What's it gonna take to get all this set up? Well, it's a lot like solving a Rubik's Cube. It's real easy. Okay, so there's several ways to do this, and I'm hoping to hear in the comments, and I want to hear from other breweries how you would go about doing this, but this is what I've come up with. This is a quick, easy way to do it. So all you need is any kind of liquid jumper cable. I use the duo type fittings, I really like them, but anything will work. And then some kind of spunding valve. There's actually a new version of this coming out that's even more compact that has 2-in-1. I'll put a picture of that. This just helps you control the pressure flow exactly on the gauge and keep it at exactly whatever level you want. I've had these cranked all the way up to 25, 30 PSI to see how fast I could fill the keg, and it seemed to work just fine. So when I came up with this, I was trying to think of the cheapest way we could do it possible, but still be very easy to use. I also know you don't want to make a lot of changes to your tap room. We have custom options available, but here's what I've come up with that I think would be super easy. This here is a faucet made by Intertap. They're similar to Perlick in many ways. I know that you have in your breweries. This is an Australian design. The nice thing about Intertap faucets is that you can unscrew the spout and you can get one of these growler filling spouts, but we don't want to do that. That's the problem we're trying to solve. And also you can have a nitro spout, but here's the one that we're really interested in. This is a ball lock spout. It screws in, quick as that, and now you've got an airtight way to fill a keg. So here's the keg tap room. As you can see, we're a big fan of rail yard here. Now, if you have Intertap faucets already, it's as simple as screwing off this nozzle and replacing it with the ball lock nozzle. Hang on, the keg tap room needs to be open for business here. So you get to see how easy it is to convert it back for your wife. I'll show the camera. It's the good head. Now, if you have a different kind of tap that doesn't have a spout that can unscrew, then why not just replace the whole tap the next time you depressurize your system? A tap costs about 30 bucks for these Intertap, and they come in a chrome plated or a stainless steel version, whatever you prefer. I'm sure most of you know how to do this, but Next time you depressurize your system for cleaning, or you have someone in to do it, just tell them to swap out a couple of the taps that you want to offer those flavors for filling. So to start, we need a clean keg. It's either going to be provided by you and you can rent it to the customer or deliver it temporarily, or the customer will be coming in with their own keg or dropping them off. So step one, first you clean the keg. You can either do that with a bit of PBW, or the customer can use these growler tablets that basically clean the keg for you. Then you want to sanitize the keg. You could probably do this at a larger scale, have a separate corny keg made up with Star San in it, whatever way you use at your brewery. Or for me, a little bit in the spray bottle's enough. Then you put in the cap. Don't forget the dip tube. Sanitize all the surfaces. Now, at the can keg tap room, I just keep a line coming off my main tank that I leave dangling down by the sink. You could have a portable little tank. Maybe something like this, just sitting beside your tap room. Or you can even just go with a little paintball canister or a soda stream bottle if you want to be more subtle about it. So my house gas is set at about 12 PSI. Just snap that on there. Give it a couple seconds. There we go. Now the can's at 12 PSI. So to finish sanitizing this and to get the rest of the Star San out of the keg, we snap on our little jumper cable. And personally, I just push it with my finger. There we go. It's good to keep bottles Star San around. Might as well make it perfect. There you go. So that's pressurizing the keg there now. Done. So we'll tighten up our spunding valve a little bit. Snap that on there. If you didn't want to have to sit here and wait for this, we have a handy auto shut-off valve. That just connects right onto here. And when that fills, that ball will raise to the top and stop the flow. Like I said, there's a more compact version of this. You'll see it on the screen here. It should be arriving this month. So now we've got a nice 15 PSI. I decided to crank it up a little bit just to show you how you could fill faster. So we can open up the tap again and then start opening the spunding valve. So this is how it should be working perfectly. You can hear it's maintaining about 12 PSI there. It's got a nice flow. You can see the keg is already over half full because of the condensation. Almost full there now. There you have it. Auto stop. Just how much beer you wasted. Look, it didn't even drip. So you can pop that off, turn off the tap, give it a little rinse. So there you have it. One perfectly filled keg. Never touched a lick of oxygen. Ready for pickup or delivery to your customers. And everything goes the same for the 10 liter, just a bit taller. Now, if you'd like to start offering mini keg fills to your customers, you can contact me directly. We have our own in-house laser, so we can mark your company's logo on the kegs. We could even mark serial numbers on all the separate parts, so you could set up a rental program similar to the way that you rent out your Senki kegs. We sell the fridge tap kit on the website, but we could also supply them for you to rent out from the brewery. All the parts are interchangeable with any size keg. Now, I sell a lot of these 5-liter kegs, so chances are a lot of your customers are going to be coming in with their own anyway. Or maybe you rent them a keg, they like it so much that they just want to buy the rental unit with your logo already marked on it. And in terms of supporting the product, all that comes to me. There's instructional videos on the website and I'll troubleshoot any of the problems. We're also setting up a CO2 exchange program so that the customers can drop off their empty SodaStream bottles at the brewery. I'll pick them up and drop off full ones. They can also pick them up at Best Buy or Walmart or anything they want to do. And that's it. We're here to make it easy so that your customers can keg.